7 o'clock on Tuesday, October 16th, 2018. I call the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order, and I ask that everyone please silence any electronic devices at this time. And to comply with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the city requests that participants in this meeting complete a voluntary anonymous survey that is available on the table in the back of the room. If you'd all please rise and recite the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
John, would you call the roll, please?
Roy.
Present.
Steve Rayburn. Present. Steve Hamilton.
Here.
Richard.
Here.
Christian.
Present.
Thank you, John. The minutes of our last meeting, the September 2018 meeting, are here in front of you. If anyone has an addition or correction, please let me know at this time. If not, I entertain a motion that we approve the September 18th, 2018 minutes.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the September 18th, 2018 minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, they will stand approved. And we had old business, but that application has been withdrawn for the DASI Center, so we will move on to new business, Cornerstone Baptist Church sign variance.
Good evening. Before us, we have the Cornerstone Baptist Church located at 105 East Fairshall Lane, which I think most of you are familiar with the site. Before you, I have pictures and such of the location. Pretty much what they're wanting to do is they have an existing sign, and you have a picture of that existing sign. What they're wanting to do is add an electronic sign to the bottom, which would be a whole new mechanism, a whole new sign basically, except
Yeah, the whole
the
sign
base.
will be replaced, but it's gonna be the same type of sign. The only addition will be the digital
At the
message
bottom.
board on the bottom.
as you can see. The only problem is the residential neighborhood across the street from them, and our ordinance indicates that you must be within 100 feet of a residential area in order to have an electronic sign. The other problem is, as you can see, the location under existing sign is in our visual clearance zone. So that's the other big problem here. I know it's already there, but the fact that it's in our visual clearance, give me. There. As you can see, their existing sign, if I can hold steady, is right there, right below the 25 in the visual clearance. So they need a variance, number one, for the location because they're replacing part of the sign, and number two, because the distance from the residential neighborhood, right here. Does anyone have any questions?
With permission from that citizen across the street from us, that help.
Can you come up and speak your name into the record?
Yeah, we did talk to.
Excuse me, state your name for the record.
My name is Chuck Gannon. I'm the pastor of Cornerstone Baptist Church. We did talk to Richard J. Van Dyke at 1504 Broadway Friday evening on October the 12th, and he did say that the sign was no problem for him and his family, as their doorway faces away from that area and their bedroom also. And he did give his phone number and everything, and consent to me that I could tell you all it's okay with him. That helps.
Thank you.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Chuck,
The existing sign's gonna disappear, and you're gonna put a new sign there, correct?
Yes, but it'll be the exact same size and exact same location where it is now.
Okay, so you have to pull new control wires for the electronic part of it.
What will
Probably
happen?
need data lines and,
What will happen is it'll be able to be controlled from inside the building. You can change it, we'll have a control panel box of some sort. I'm not really,
Okay.
too modernized on that, but they're going to teach us how to do it. So.
okay.
You won't have to go outside to change the existing message, on the sign. Coming events and all that.
yeah.
I think it'll be cleaner, neater looking, more respectable.
Yeah.
That sign's really old.
Yeah.
It's getting really old.
Is it-
Full of bugs and junk.
So we'll have a display that can run across the
Yeah,
sign?
it'll be more, I don't know how to describe it, I think more or less a ticker tape
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
that goes across ways,
Yeah.
so you can read it.
See, I see that as it could be a deterrent or a distraction from somebody coming up and trying to turn too.
I'd like a little better pronunciation of your last name, please.
Gerin, Gerrian.
Thank you.
Kathy, I know that's gonna set in the sight triangle, and I know it's a problem. I was out there watching, and I know Rich was too, we were there at different times, we went together. But we noticed the same thing, that people have problems now, and they cheat up. They start creeping up to be able to see. I know that in the ordinance, because we worked on this sign ordinance forever, there's a way that they can either lower it down, which is probably not possible in this case, but I know there's a way they could raise it up. How, was it, and be out of the sight code. Do you remember how far that is? It has to be up.
Is it 11 feet?
I was thinking 10.
Okay. So,
Okay. That would be to the bottom of the sign then?
yes, from the bottom of the
Okay.
sign.
There's a bottom dimension which
I
is.
remember, I just didn't remember what they were. Like I said, we spent years working to come up with this sign ordinance, and my problem with it is that probably today, we wouldn't even want the existing sign because it sets in the sight cone. I think they call it a cone for the area. To me, there'd have to be some way to get it out of that before if they could raise it up, that'd be the only way I personally could be for it.
I've read the messages on your sign for years, and I've always thought you had interesting things to say, but I have also many times, because I live up Franklin Street, many times been driving down Broadway and had people pass that, I think even in this picture, this van is past the white line that they're supposed to stop behind the stop
If the sign
sign.
could be attached to the building, would that give more clearance? More vision?
I
don't know.
that would pull it back, but I think if you just put it on posts, if you put it on square two up, probably,
I
what,
think it's supposed to be
the bottom
10
of the sign is
feet,
10 feet high?
You know,
Yeah.
if I was setting out there, it would have to, at least, just thinking of cars and pickup trucks and that, it's gonna have to be at least 6 feet so that you can see underneath it, in my way of thinking. I know the ordinance, I think says 10.
Yeah, whatever the ordinance says, I would be in approval to raise it.
Right, I mean,
And
that's
then
got,
they could put their message board on
Because
there.
I think that'd be.
Just get it out of the line of vision so you can see down Broadway Street to the
Yeah.
side.
yeah, I mean, that's my concern is,
Sir.
when you did all this to make new signs be safe and not cause problems, and when you add a scrolling message to it, people are gonna tend to pay more attention to it,
Yeah,
and therefore they may not be watching for traffic. Broadway's busy now, we all know it is. There's a lot of truck traffic there from
absolutely.
the industries and that.
Well, with Lincoln Street closed too.
Right, and then it's gonna be, when we eventually finish Freeland Road, whatever,
In the
the
better
new
way.
roads out there, Veterans Way, thank you,
Yeah.
Rich, I couldn't think of the name for a second. But when that gets finished, it's just gonna get busier out there, and I hate to think we cause someone to get injured in an accident,
Yeah.
so. I mean, I'd be for it, as far as the location and the site thing, I don't, you know, the neighbor, he seems to be all right with it, I don't think that's as much of a problem as, to me, it'd just have to get up out of the way.
So if we raise it up, you say 10 feet,
10 feet from the
Yeah.
top.
would that be a double,
Well, that-
a double leg? Or
I don't know, they,
You'll have to check with Kathy and see what the recommendations are on where that height's at. We don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
right, and they also, when you get it up in the air a little bit, a sign that size is gonna be somewhat of a sail with the wind, so there's gonna have to be some, the posts, if you will, pylons, whatever you wanna call them, are gonna have to be, you know, we're gonna have to look at, you guys have to look at that. I'll let
Yeah.
you and Ron take.
That's a lot less expensive than you moving that whole base and everything to the other corner of that.
Right, yeah, it could be a single post, it might not have to be a dual, I'm not a structural engineer, so I can't tell you that. Yeah. So I think we're in agreement if we would grant them a variance on the, what part of it?
If they
What
put
do
it
you
on
wanna
a
call
pole,
it?
if they
Yeah.
put it on a pole, then all they need is the section where it faces the residential.
Okay, so I would be in favor of granting a variance on where it faces the residential area, but not
Okay.
for the location they would have to raise it.
Yeah,
And that would get them, that would make them in compliance with that section.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that either.
If they raise it that high, could the square footage be increased?
They'll have to look at,
Okay.
Yeah, because of the zoning.
Okay.
you have to look at what the ordinance says, but the main part of raising it is to get it to where the sign would just be in compliance and they wouldn't have to worry about coming back for that.
Right.
And we would go ahead, I mean, if you guys are in agreement, we'd grant them a variance on the distance to the residential area tonight.
Okay.
So if somebody wants to make that motion.
I have a question though.
Sure.
So we're gonna okay the electronic board, but only grant a variance on
Facing the
the
residential.
north
Facing the
side
right, facing the
of the
residential
building
area on
of
the
the
north side.
residential area.
Right.
So we don't have to worry about the next.
Okay, that doesn't mean the sign can go in.
No, they have to get with Kathy and get the height requirement and get it up.
They can go there as long as they raise the sign.
Yeah.
Would that be for another meeting? Would you
No, we
wanna do
would-
it now?
I would say we could do it. Chris, you can answer me, you're the lawyer, but I'd say we could do it now.
Hearing you right, it'd be in compliance with the ordinance anyway, so.
Right, that's my point, is that raising it up would make it in compliance, so we grant the variance for the distance from the residential neighbor to the north.
Okay.
Kathy, does the variance include anything that goes into the size of the ticker tape, electronic writing?
It does, the sign itself, the electronic part can only be 75%
Okay.
of the sign.
Okay. So
That's all.
They're well.
if they raised it and wanted to make that ticker tape 50% of the size of the sign and have Cornerstone Baptist Church be smaller, that's still.
But they're still in compliance,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the variance for the clearance
It's the
On the-
distance from the neighbor.
on the north side of
Right.
the Cornerstone Church, that the sign will be allowed.
Right.
If the sign is raised up.
Right, other than
Only
that, it has to
if
be
the
in
sign
compliance.
is raised up.
It's the only thing we're granting a variance for is the neighbor to the north.
got that, John? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. That we approve the variance, that grants them permission to put an electronic billboard on that church due to the restrictions of the residential area being on the north side, the distance from the residential area. And that's only if it's raised
Right, and it's,
to meet
the rest of it, we're not granting a variance for, so it has to be in compliance with the rest of the ordinance.
Okay. I'll second that motion.
All right, you got that, John? Rich made the motion and Christian seconded it, and then call the roll, please.
Roy,
Yes.
Steve Raymer,
Yes.
Steve Hamilton,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Christian.
Yes.
So there you go, folks. You got anything else for us, Kathy?
No, we're doing it.
Does it look like we'll have a meeting next month or not?
Yes.
Okay. Hearing that, I would entertain a motion, we adjourn, gentlemen.
I make that motion.
Moved, then.